headline after headline.
AI can lead to incredible advancements.
So what jobs will disappear first when artificial intelligence gets scary good?
Thousands of workers due to AI.
AI isn't coming for the future of work.
Who is pushing? It is the richest people in the world.
It's already rewriting job postings across the economy right now.
This is what Elon Musk says.
Someone at a computer doing something, AI is going to take over those jobs like lightning.
Today, while you're watching this, it's happening. Not every job is in danger. Well, not yet. Some are practically untouchable, but some are first in line. Not because AI is smarter than the workers doing them, because the work is repeatable, predictable, and cheap to automate the second the tech gets good enough. And here's the uncomfortable part. Good enough doesn't mean perfect. It just means cheaper than paying a worker to do it slightly better. Companies don't need AI to be flawless. They just need it to be good enough that the math stops making sense to keep a worker around. So here's the real question. How close is good enough?
You've probably seen the headlines. An AI model blackmailed an employee just to avoid being shut down.
For some jobs on this list, a lot closer than you think. These are the jobs disappearing first, starting with the ones already halfway out the door and ending with the pattern that ties every single one of them together.
Working will be optional. You'll have robots plus AI, and we'll have universal high income, not just universal basic income, universal high income, meaning anyone can have any products or services that they want.
Number 18, data entry. This one's barely a surprise. Typing information from one place to another was never really a job, so much as a task that happened to need a worker because nothing else could read a form and type it into a database. AI doesn't get bored, it doesn't mistype, it doesn't need a coffee break every 2 hours, and it definitely doesn't check its phone under the desk. Optical character recognition combined with modern language models can now read a messy handwritten form and enter it correctly faster than a trained employee, including the ones with terrible handwriting, which is why this role isn't at risk. It's already shrinking, quietly, inside companies that never announced a single layoff. They just stopped posting the job. But if you think that's just the boring stuff going first, wait until you see who's next. Number 17, basic customer support. You know the drill. You type "talk to a person" 4 times before the chatbot finally gives up and connects you to someone real. That chatbot is about to get a lot better at pretending to be the person. Modern AI support tools don't just follow a rigid script anymore. They read your account history, your past complaints, your tone, and they resolve half your problems before a worker even sees the ticket. Support centers used to measure success by how many calls a worker could handle in an hour. Now they measure how few calls a worker needs to handle at all, which is great news for your hold time. Less great news if answering those tickets used to be your paycheck. And here's the irony. The friendlier AI gets at sounding human, the fewer actual humans it needs standing behind it. Number 16, junior paralegals. Legal work sounds safe. It's not. Not at the entry level anyway. Summarizing contracts, searching case law, flagging risky clauses. This used to be how junior paralegals earned their stripes for years before anyone let them near a real case. AI can now do a first-pass contract review in minutes instead of days, cross-referencing thousands of past filings faster than a worker could read the table of contents. Law firms aren't cutting senior partners over this. Partners still bill the big hours and make the big calls. What they're doing instead is quietly hiring fewer juniors to begin with, because the grunt work that used to justify that first paycheck doesn't need a worker attached to it anymore, which means the bottom rung of the ladder is being displaced, and nobody's replacing it with a new one. Number 15, copywriters, the entry-level kind. Not novelists, not the writers with a distinct voice and a loyal following, the other kind. Product descriptions, ad variations, listicle fillers, the stuff written to satisfy a content calendar, not to be remembered by anyone. That work was never really about creativity in the first place. It was about volume, churning out 50 slightly different versions of the same headline until one of them tested well. And volume is exactly what AI is built for. It doesn't get writer's block, it doesn't need a deadline extension, it can produce 50 headline variations before you finished your coffee. The writer who survives the shift isn't the fastest typist in the room. They are the ones that AI genuinely can't fake. The ones with a specific point of view, a reputation, an audience that follows them, not just their output. Everyone else is now competing against a tool that works for free, never sleeps, and never asks for a raise. Number 14, bookkeepers. Somebody has to reconcile the invoices, log the receipts, and make sure the numbers actually add up before tax season turns into a nightmare for everyone involved. AI accounting tools already auto-categorize transactions, flag anomalies, and generate monthly reports that used to eat half a bookkeeper's week. The accountant signing off on the final numbers, making judgment calls about deductions and risk, probably still has a job, at least for now. The worker who used to do the manual sorting underneath them, the one entering receipts line by line, not so much. It's not the top of the profession disappearing first, it's the floor underneath it. Number 13, telemarketers. Nobody exactly is shedding a tear over this one, including the workers who used to work these jobs. Reading from scripts they didn't write, getting hung up on 40 times a shift for minimum wage. AI voice agents can now make the pitch, handle common objections, adjust tone based on how the person responds, and log the outcome, all without needing a lunch break or a bathroom break either. Here's the twist though. The same voice cloning technology displacing telemarketers is also powering a new wave of scam calls that sound exactly like someone you love asking for help in a moment of fake panic. So this job isn't just disappearing. In a strange way, it's being replaced by a more dangerous version of itself, one that's much harder to hang up on. Number 12, translators for everyday text. Not literary translators, the ones capturing tone, rhythm, and cultural meaning across languages. That work is still genuinely hard and still mostly safe, at least for now. But everyday translation, emails, product listings, subtitles, tourist menus, customer reviews, AI already handles that instantly, and it's getting noticeably more accurate every few months. Businesses that used to pay a worker for a quick functional translation increasingly don't see the point in waiting a day and paying by the word, which raises an uncomfortable question worth sitting with. How much of any job is really the hard, artful 10% that requires a worker? And how much is just the easy 90% that quietly got automated out from under it? Number 11, financial analysts, the junior tier. Building spreadsheets, pulling comparable companies, formatting slide decks, summarizing a market nobody actually asked the junior analyst's opinion on yet. That used to be how you built the skills and paid your dues for 2 or 3 grinding years, before anyone trusted you near a real investment decision. AI tools now build those same financial models in minutes, pulling cleaner data faster than a 24-year-old running purely on energy drinks and keyboard shortcuts. The people making the actual calls, the ones with judgment, relationships, and a track record, are still very much needed. But the people who used to spend years building the muscle to become those decision makers, their old training ground is disappearing underneath them. Number 10, illustrators for commercial, non-signature work. Stock art, ad banners, placeholders, concept sketches nobody was ever going to hang in a gallery. AI image tools can generate that kind of work in seconds now, at a fraction of the cost, with unlimited free revisions and zero scheduling conflicts. Artists with a distinct, recognizable style, the whole reason a client hires them specifically and nobody else, are much harder to replace, because clients are paying for the name as much as the pixels. But the commercial workhorse tier, the freelance jobs that used to be how illustrators built a career and a portfolio before they all had a name at all, that's the part getting hollowed out first, and it's also how most illustrators used to get their start. Number 9, junior software developers. This one stings because coding was supposed to be the safe career, the one every parent told their kid to pursue instead of art school. AI coding assistants now write, debug, and explain functional code in seconds. The exact kind of task junior developers used to cut their teeth on for their first 2 or 3 years on the job. Senior engineers are becoming dramatically more productive, not less. They're shipping more features with smaller teams than ever before, which sounds great for the company, less great if you're the junior developer who used to fill out that team. The floor of the tech industry, the entry point everyone was told to aim for, is exactly the part quietly getting removed from the ladder. Number 8, market research analysts. Surveys, focus group transcripts, trend reports nobody reads past the executive summary anyway. AI can now scrape, summarize, and synthesize consumer sentiment across millions of data points in roughly the time it takes a human analyst to open a spreadsheet and pour a coffee. It's not that companies stopped wanting market research. It's that they stopped needing a team of workers to manually produce it. That's automation, not attrition. Number 7, proofreaders and copy editors. Catching typos, fixing grammar, tightening a sentence that runs on a beat too long. This used to be a full-time role at every publication, agency, and marketing team of any size. AI grammar and style tools can now catch the same errors instantly, flag awkward phrasing, and even suggest a tighter rewrite, all before a human editor opens the document. The senior editors making real judgment calls about voice, structure, and what a piece is actually trying to say, they're still valuable. The entry-level, fix the commas job that used to be step 1 of an editing career, that step is quietly disappearing. Number 6, insurance claims adjusters, the routine cases. Filing a claim after a fender bender used to mean waiting days for a human adjuster to review photos, cross-check policy details, and calculate a payout. AI can now assess damage photos, compare them against thousands of past claims, and generate a payout estimate in minutes. For the simple routine cases at least. The complicated disputes, the fraud investigations, the judgment calls where two people disagree about what happened, those still need a worker in the loop. But the straightforward 80% of claims, that's exactly the kind of repeatable pattern AI eats first. Number 5, radiology assistance and basic diagnostic screening. This one surprises people because medical job sounds untouchable. It's not entirely, not at every level. AI image analysis can already flag potential tumors, fractures, and abnormalities in scans with accuracy that rivals trained professionals. And it does it in seconds instead of the time it takes a radiologist to work through a full day's caseload. To be clear, radiologists aren't disappearing. Someone still has to make the final call, explain it to a patient, and take responsibility for it. But the screening layer, the first pass that used to require an extra set of trained eyes, AI is already doing a version of that job in hospitals right now. Number 4, retail and warehouse inventory roles. Counting stock, restocking shelves, flagging what's low before it actually runs out. Computer vision systems can now scan a warehouse aisle and know exactly what's missing without a single worker walking the floor with a clipboard. Combine that with robotic picking systems already running in major distribution centers, and you get an entire layer of physical, repetitive retail labor that's being quietly displaced by automation. Not with a dramatic announcement, but one warehouse at a time. Number 3, basic graphic design, templated work. Social media graphics, flyer templates, resizing the same ad for 12 different platforms. AI design tools can now generate on-brand graphics from a single prompt, adjusting for every platform's dimensions instantly. No design degree required. Designers doing genuinely original brand work, the ones solving a real creative problem, they're still needed. They're still valuable. The freelancer who used to make a living cranking out templated social posts for small businesses, that entire tier of work is evaporating fast. Number 2, customer-facing sales. The low-stakes kind. Not the high-trust, relationship-driven sales that close million-dollar contracts over years of dinners. The other kind. Answering basic product questions, walking someone through a simple purchase decision, upselling a slightly bigger plan. AI sales chat tools already do this on thousands of websites right now, and they don't need a script, a shift schedule, or a commission check. The salespeople who survive are the ones selling trust, not information, because trust is the one thing AI still can't manufacture on demand. Number 1, any job that's secretly just processing information. Not one specific title, a pattern. And it's the thread running through every single job on this list. Every one of these roles share the same DNA. Take information in, apply a predictable set of rules, produce a predictable output. That's not a personality trait. That's a task description, and it's the exact shape of task AI was built to eat first. The jobs that survive longest aren't necessarily the smart ones or the technically hard ones. They're the ones built on judgment calls, physical presence, deep trust, or a point of view nobody else has. So the real question isn't, is my job on this list? It's how much of your job is actually you, your judgment, your relationships, your taste, and how much of it is just information moving from one place to another, waiting for something faster to move it instead. AI isn't going to displace everyone overnight, and it's not going to displace no one either. It's going to hollow out the predictable parts of employment first, quietly, one task at a time, one unfilled job posting at a time, long before anyone announces a single layoff.